Hello and welcome to today's Masterclass. I am Sabine Matharu and I'm going to share with you one of my masterclasses that I've run and it was super successful, very, very popular. So I just wanted to bring it into this group and it's all about getting corporate clients. So if you are a coach, consultant, course creator, therapist, I think you're in the right place because I'm going to open up some of the space and give you some ideas around how you can deliver your services into corporate. And one of the great things is that you can actually scale and leverage your skill set. And what happens when you getting a corporate contract, you can also deliver one-to-many. And that means there's so many opportunities once you have got your foot in through the door. So I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I've learned because I'm also working in corporate, but I also work with female entrepreneurs to start and grow their business. And obviously getting into corporate is one additional income stream, and it's definitely a huge opportunity for scaling as well. So what you're going to learn in this session today is obviously what are the opportunities, what really is the opportunity here potentially for you, how does it apply to you as well, and then the key facts about working with corporates. Again, I'm drawing from my own experiences here as well. Then what are corporates actually looking for? Like, who are they looking for? What sort of services are they currently looking for? And then the 3 reasons why they want to work with you and why they wanted to work with me as well, although we are not a big company or anything like that, so don't worry about that. And then also what the mindset shift needs to be like in terms of helping you rethink and being open for creating big impact. I'm going to share with you a couple of case studies so that you know it is possible and what others have achieved as well. And then in the end, I'm going to share with you 3 functional steps of 3 things that you can do right away to actually get yourself started and moving in that direction. Okay, so who is it for? For coaches, consultants, therapists, healers, so anyone who's got some sort of service that they think they can deliver into corporate. And we're talking about individuals also within corporate world. So actually we're talking about people. We'll talk a bit more about this, and so that you can get your head around, because so many of my clients come to me and said, I'm not sure if I'm ready to get into corporate. I'm not sure what I should be delivering. And then I look at what they're doing right now, and it's just a little switch, like a little tweak, and it can be then presented to the corporate world. So I'll share with you some ideas how to make those little tweaks. So again, you've got something that you can offer for corporate clients or individuals who work within the corporate environment. And then you would also like to scale your business with larger contracts. Again, this is a huge opportunity. Remember, corporate organizations have larger budgets. They have lots of people that perhaps your program might fit, or maybe there's one-to-one clients you can get from them. And when I talk about corporates as well, it doesn't have to be massive sort of organizations. It could be just it could be like 100 employees, it could be 200 employees, and it's very easy to actually get into those smaller organizations because they don't have such a long sort of decision-making process as if you were to go to some really larger organizations that have thousands of employees. Obviously, the larger the corporate, the larger obviously the opportunities to go into different departments, different countries, and all that kind of thing. So think about it. Just start somewhere and work your way up, I would say. So again, a little bit about myself, my background. I am Sabine. I love working with female coaches, course creators, consultants, therapists, you name it. I've been in this business for over 10 years now, and I have been coaching leaders inside of corporate as well. So that's where my experience comes from. And I had to pitch into corporate and find my way into corporate, although I've come out of corporate to go back in as well. And I've created training programs pretty much all my life. I've been a sort of a coach and a consultant pretty much all since I graduated, pretty much. I've also done some other things, like with the entrepreneurial world. I've got my own online TV show. I've also got a podcast now. I run my own networking events, and I always love to collaborate with people. For example, I've written 3 best-selling books in collaboration with 73 other authors. So I was the host of the collaboration, basically, and brought it all together. And I think in my lifetime, I probably must have helped over 1,000 women start and grow their businesses, but also hundreds and hundreds of leaders in organizations, because I did a lot of leadership training over the years as well. So I've also got one-to-ones, online courses, and memberships. So you see that I've done quite a lot in this space, I would say. So here are some examples as to, like, presenting the book. I was on radio. I was invited to speak at numerous corporate organizations, including some of the big ones. You can see here Dell Technologies. They invited me to talk to their women leaders as well. And so, yeah, it was a kind of a sort of some really nice experiences where I really felt I have a gift, I can empower others, and I want to bring this to you now. I want to share what I've learned and how I did it, and share with you how you can do it too. And yeah, I also love traveling. As you can see, I have a family. They're still fairly young children and growing up now. But I also love my lifestyle. And this is probably one of the reasons why I did come out of corporate, started my own business. And I love leveraging. I love everything to do with automating, systemizing. I'm Austrian, so don't take me, sometimes I get my words all muddled up. Putting systems in place. That's all about what I do with businesses, with female entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial startups, and just really simplifying things. And I think when you are thinking about, less is more, then getting into corporate is definitely one huge opportunity where you actually can make a huge amount of money, impact a lot more people, as in, like, trying to get one-to-one clients or selling a low-end sort of program as well. So I'll share that with you now anyway. So that's the next slide, is about what are the opportunities. Obviously, we can get larger corporate contracts, which can be 5-6 figures, depending what you do and how you set yourself up. There is an opportunity to create longer term impact, because obviously corporate, they have maybe, if you do a good job in one department, they'll ask you to your next department. So there's referrals. Also, remember, within corporates, there are people who know other people in other corporate organizations who can refer you as well. You can deliver one-to-many. You can deliver one-to-one. So deliver one-to-many is a group program. You can do this in person. You can do one-day events. You could do longer term programs, like an 8-week group mastermind or something like this. You can do this virtual, or you can also deliver in-house, or you could do a retreat with them. So there's many different options, and you can even sell subscription services, because I actually sell all of the 3 things. I do one-to-many, deliver one-to-ones, and subscription services. So we all have this challenge. Now, if you look at the graphic, what this is telling us is that we, on average, spend 80% of time doing marketing, creating content, getting new leads, new prospects, having sales conversations. And unfortunately, we then only spend 20% on the delivery, on the paid work. So, and that's quite doom and gloom a little bit, right? And my mission is to help you turn this around so that you only do 20% of marketing, and then you get to do 80% of delivery. And I think this is one of the big opportunities when you are thinking about getting into corporate, getting bigger contracts, having those referrals, that means you've got this one client that will then help you with the internal marketing or market externally for you within other organizations that they know. Like, for example, HR managers, they know each other. And if you do a good job for one of their teams, they'll then recommend you as well. So it's really, really, it's realistic to think that you can work yourself towards doing less marketing, but more delivery. And I think that's what we all want as coaches, consultants, therapists, change makers, that we rather do 80% of the delivery, because that's what we're good at, and reduce some of the marketing. And if we do the marketing, again, this is something that I'm very passionate about, is to put things in place that can work for you over and over again, rather than having to reinvent the wheel and thinking every day, oh, well, I'm going to post on social media today, but really putting structures and systems and processes in place so that you can utilize the marketing and the materials that you've already created. Okay, so that's really important. Now, a couple of facts, just for you to think about this, right? If you really think about, I mean, we're talking corporate, and it may be all, it may feel overwhelming or scary, but think about it. Corporate organizations consist of individual people who could benefit from your services. Just think about that. Did you know that organizations are actively looking to help their people grow and transform? So what can you offer in this space? Did you know that packages you would normally sell to individuals, now in corporate, you can put it 10x the fee? As I said, they have a big budget, and they would expect you to not just charge, $100 or £100 for a session, but it's like we're talking thousands, right? Because we are offering them in a corporate context. Did you know that people who buy services for their teams are also human beings, and they're not some sort of gods? They will also be interested in your services. And also, you can easily connect with these prospects and get them on a call without complex sales funnels. So you don't need all the setup that you think you need if you are delivering for other entrepreneurs or individuals. You don't need that complexity. You don't need to spend 24/7 on social media. And I will tell you in the 3 steps I'm going to share with you at the end, the things that I would do to get started right away. So just to reiterate, why corporates? People who work in corporates need your help. I think now more so than ever. I mean, the pandemic has really shaken things up. We're talking a lot about mental well-being challenges, leadership challenges, personal challenges, you name it. And as I said, just one contract could get you to 7 figures alone, rather than having to sell a lot of smaller packages to so many individuals. That takes a lot of time and effort, a lot of marketing time as well, as opposed to obviously getting, as I said, hundreds of one-to-one customers at low fees. Corporates pay top dollar if you can offer the right services. Now, what are the right services? What would corporates actually be looking for right now? Obviously, they're looking for something that will impact their bottom line results. Either you help them increase something or decrease something. Always think about those 2 things. It's an increase or a decrease. And sometimes corporate have sort of mandates around reducing, global warming and things like that. So think in those contexts as well. So it could be increasing well-being for their employees, increasing happiness that will actually increase engagement. And engagement could increase, obviously, that they get more customers because people are more engaged. They go the extra mile. They will be more productive. All of these things, right? So we're talking about leadership, change management, because things are always changing in organizations, and new companies are merging, or new teams are being formed. So those are really, really important. We're talking about diversity, equality, and inclusion topics, health, well-being. So that's physical health as well, right? That's mental well-being, that's emotional intelligence, mindfulness, work-life balance, parenting. There's legal and compliance. There's HR, digital marketing, nutrition, presentation skills, conflict management, and so on, project management, sales, employee engagement, teamwork, building trust, communication across teams, empowerment topics. And these are probably not all. These are just a few things that I thought of, that I've brainstormed, that I've known people actually need inside of organizations. So really think, how does your service and your offer match one of these categories, or maybe it touches many of these categories? And what is the ultimate result that you can get them that will help them impact the bottom line, right? So I think productivity comes to mind as well, but there's many ways of increasing someone's productivity levels. It could be with well-being, with nutrition, sleep, you name it, right? Of course, systems as well, processes, better leadership, decision-making, even emotional intelligence. So there we go. Parenting is another one. I always talk about this quite often, menopause and things like this. Again, we're talking about the well-being, because each of these individuals are in the corporate work as an individual, but whatever happens outside of their life, like if they're going through divorce, for example, relationships, that's another thing I haven't put here. Relationships, they may go through divorce, they're feeling stressed at work, and that's impacting their work and their productivity, their well-being, their engagement. That will impact on the corporate bottom line negatively. So really think about this whole chain as to what that would look like and what the impact will be, and sort of work your way backwards. I mean, I can almost guarantee you, I work with so many consultants, therapists, coaches, and all kinds of different spaces, like even someone who was teaching English, and we were able to position their programs effectively. And then obviously you've got the obvious ones like the leadership, the career coaches and things like this as well. But if it's not obvious, there will be a way to position it in a way that will impact the corporate. So for sure. So I want to move on to the 3 reasons why corporate would want to work with you, because you might say, okay, great, Sabina, I've got an idea as to what I can deliver, and it fits and it will increase the productivity or well-being or whatever it is, or decrease the absences and things like that. But why would they want to work with me? I'm just like a one-person organization, and it just feels a bit scary, and I'm not sure if I can do this. Okay, so let me talk to you about this. Well, I find organizations, yes, I used to work with larger organizations myself as a consultant, like one of the big fours. We would go in and do some big change management projects. But you know what? Those are kind of like sort of bigger agencies, and it's not very they're not very agile, they're not very flexible. So if you think about us, smaller organizations or one person organization, we are more competitive really in terms of the pricing as well, because we don't have such big overheads. So compared to the big consultancies, we can be more competitive. We can probably deliver really similar things, great things as well, right? We are agile and flexible. Again, we might be working in smaller teams. We can innovate, change. There's much less red tape around the whole contracts and everything else. And we can make quicker decisions in terms of changing something around it. So imagine, because I was working with the big consultancies, we were a team like 10, 15 of us, and then it would be really, really hard to change up the program or create something that's really nimble and flexible. And then we're also more responsive to their needs. We are able to tweak products and services, and that is really important for organizations right now, is actually that we're tailoring something to them Yes, we might have a structure, we might have a signature program, and that's why I teach to entrepreneurs, anyway. But we can put something in place that may actually start with some sort of audit as to what are you guys going through right now? What's the best way to roll this out? And remember, you can always bring other collaborators in if you have a few other people in this space. If they want like a rollout, a bigger kind of contract, you can bring other people in as well. So don't limit yourself thinking, oh, I'm not sure if I have the capacity to, teach or transform 50 or 100 people at a time. So think big and think out the box that you can bring other people in as well as when necessary if you wanted to do that. Because I'm talking about my own experience where I have this roster of people around me that can come and deliver on different parts, and we can collaborate together. So, and I think this takes a bit of a perspective shift as well in terms of the mindset, in terms of shifting the belief that you can do this. So let me go through a couple of common objections, let's say, sort of common mindset blocks that one might have and think, well, now I'm just going to stick with what I have right now. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go into a corporate. But really think about it, right? I'm not ready yet. That's a big one. Well, think about it. Aren't you already doing it? Aren't you already serving individuals? Aren't you already serving other human beings? And the thing is, if it's worth doing it imperfectly as well. Just show up and just go for it. Who knows, right? Who knows what's going to happen? We will never be 100% ready. And this is the thing, it will just stop us. We will just procrastinate. We might want to be all perfect, but we're then not going to show up and we're not going to move forward. I just left my job. I'm only a beginner. So if you just started your own business, well, you've been working in a job and you surely have transferable skills already. Just think about that. Think what you really enjoyed and where you really blossomed. Like I was in a job when I came out. I was like, well, I really blossomed in coaching others and teaching and training and empowering others. And so what can I do? So I actually picked the cherries off the cake, and I'm just doing what I used to do in the corporate, but just the things that I really enjoyed, right? So there are transferable skills. I've never delivered into corporate before. Well, if you haven't, that's fine. If you've already maybe worked with someone, even if you haven't worked with someone on a paid basis, I'm sure you know someone who can say, hey, you're really good at this, right? Maybe you've already got testimonials from individuals. So, and after all, if you did speak to a corporate and they say, well, have you already delivered into this particular training into another corporate? Then you can say, well, not yet. However, I have done this for individuals and I bring a different perspective from working with others, which allows me to think outside of the box. So you can innovate. You can prove that you're innovating. You're bringing things from the outside, which can be sometimes really, really helpful, rather than because within corporate, they always do the things that the way they've done it before. They may not be able to do this transformation. So it's great to bring an external perspective in. And after all, even if you did work with individuals, and then again, we're just talking individuals who work inside a corporate setting. So the transformation may be exactly the same. It's just me, my company is too small. I talked to that before. I can, you can always get some people around you to help you with the delivery. But you could also say, look, I can be highly responsive and agile. I bring together other experts to help me deliver bigger contracts. So you can be really flexible. You're not bound as such. I'm still busy with other stuff in my business. I hear that a lot. Now, is it other stuff that is it working for you? Is it bringing in the revenue that you want to have in your business, the income, the lifestyle? Are you making the impact that you want to make? Most of the time I meet entrepreneurs that want to make more impact and they're looking for more. So If you have that CEO mindset, right? I have a CEO mindset and I see a bigger vision for my company, my income and I should say impact there. Procrastination and perfectionism have no role to play. So really think about it. What are you doing right now in your business, and how is that creating results for you? I've only done business with solopreneurs or individuals. Again, we talked to that as well. These clients had only a limited amount of budget and we achieved amazing results. So think about, like, imagine what can you do with corporate organizations who have much more budget, right? If you've only been able to work with individuals, now going into corporate, you can do so much more and maybe even some more in-depth work. So there you have it, the perspective shift. And here are a couple of case studies. Like Mariah, she's a career and leadership coach. She wanted to move into group coaching, and now she works with executives and corporate teams. And she's actually moved her pricing up. So now you can see she's already booked. Hey, she's messaged me. She said, I'm already booked up. I did a 15K contract. It's in the bag, right? So she can now command much higher prices and go and do some group coaching. And then another expert here, Victoria, she's a well-being expert. She was really fed up when she came to me, going through a lot of content online and promoting herself, creating a lot of content, having to create these complex sales funnels, and she was only charging by the hour. She 20x'd her prices, and again, now she attracts executive and corporate clients, and she's in the well-being space, right? She is a well-being expert, and well-being is huge. There's so many well-being initiatives, mental wellness weeks that you can tap into and create campaigns around it. And there are ways to get into corporate. So I'll talk to you about this in a sec. So these are some of my students that have gone through the Get Corporate Clients Bootcamp. And they actually get a complete hand-holding experience where, firstly, we look at what can they deliver into corporate, what kind of assets do they need to create, and how do they go about connecting with the decision makers, and how do they then translate that into getting a contract, a winning contract, and how to deliver and make sure they get referrals. So the whole process I teach inside the Get Corporate Clients Bootcamp. Now, I just want to give you a quick guide, the first 3 steps that I would do if I was to start again. What are things that I would think about? And again, this is exactly what I teach inside the Get Corporate Client Bootcamps in very much detail. I've got all the scripts, all the templates, even PowerPoint slides. So it's going to do all the heavy lifting. But let's think about this. So step 1. What is a step 1? It's actually understanding the corporate problems and your positioning. As I said, you need to understand what you bring to the table. And we talked about this, problems. You either increase something or you decrease something that will actually have a positive impact on their bottom line. B, positioning. How are you different? What are things that you do, and do you have some sort of methodology? Again, it's like a signature way of doing things. How do you measure? How do you make sure you create that return on investment? How do you make sure that whatever you do and you make that transformation, that it's sustainable, that it will stick, that people will continue learning? And again, there's a big opportunity behind this as well to create a sustainability program. I'm not talking about sort of eco-friendliness. I'm talking about sustainable habit change or transformation, or whatever you have created. There could be a continuation, and that could be a subscription. So let's think this through. Engagement or well-being, what does it mean? So let's talk about, for example, engagement. So the problem is that people might have very low engagement. So that means they're not showing up in their fullest, they're not giving their all. That means maybe they're missing deadlines and things like that, right? So they may not be very productive. They might even be sabotaging their team, the colleagues, and they might be in a bad mood and all that, right? So we want to increase engagement, but the one way of increasing engagement would be perhaps increasing their well-being or doing something about the leadership, because sometimes people are not very engaged because they have a bad leader, a bad boss, and they're not engaged. But sometimes they have too much on their plate, or they have unrealistic expectations given to them that they feel maybe they're burnt out, they're stressed. So obviously the first thing we'd need to do is, okay, we're going to measure what actually creates that low engagement, and how low is the engagement, and where, in which department or what team specifically. So that might be one of the, so we know what the problem is, and then we know how we're going to position it with regards to firstly measuring it, and then we'll create the campaigns around it that we can actually tailor to their needs. And of course, we want to create campaigns that are measurable, sustainable, and we want to have some sort of signature methodology behind us that will actually show clearly how we're going to take those clients or those individuals from the point A of suffering and struggling to point B is like the ideal scenario, or already up level, 2-3 levels up. Yeah. And then we can also think about, okay, after that, there will be some touch points. Like, for example, I run one-to-one coaching in leadership coaching. So typically we start with an assessment around what are the goals, what are the values, where are the challenges. And then it could be like 5 coaching sessions. Or it could be a workshop with the team, or it could be a number of workshops with the team. And then we say, okay, and after we've done the 3 workshops over 3 weeks, there will be another 3 months or 90 days or 6 months of regular check-ins. And it will be once a month, there will be a Zoom call, or there will be a check-in. So again, if you put this offer together, really think this through as to what are the different components. So step 2, we want to get visible, and we need to find the right decision makers. So where can you find the right decision makers? Of course, you got to think, well, who are the right people in the first place? And that depends on what you do and who you cater for. Quite often, myself, it's getting into HR, learning development, but also ops directors who actually have that particular problem. You meet them at conferences, could be live conferences, online conferences, events, which I love the personal conferences, because you can make that connection much quicker and have that conversation, or at least have an introduction, and a bit of a bonding in essence. Then networking groups, you can online network. Obviously, LinkedIn is a great platform where you can actually find people. Corporate roundtables, you can create your own events and you can host them. So you could do a corporate roundtable. You could either do it for an organization, so that means you bring together some executives, and then you facilitate that corporate roundtable. Or you could have this, what I did, I invited different HR leaders, and we did like it was called a HR lab, and that was a virtual event where different HR leaders from different organizations came together, and we had some discussions around best practices. You could do lunch and learns, so there could be shorter workshops. And of course, we've got thought leadership. What I mean by that is actually your content, how you create your content. And there's one thing I didn't put on there is like you create your own events, such as a webinar as well. You can do webinars, which is a really great tool. And you can then also put those webinars on autopilot. Again, it's something that comes from my other programs, where we actually create evergreen webinars where the webinar runs over and over again. Again, it takes that marketing effort down to the 20%, because you put assets in place that will work for you over and over again. So that's step 2. And obviously step 3, we need to have that sales conversation. I said you don't need really complicated sales funnels. As I said, a webinar is great. It's going into corporate to do a lunch and learn, either virtual or physically as well, and meeting people at conferences. Then get a call booked, because they're not going to come onto your sales page and then buy whatever product you've got there, you need to have a conversation with them, and you want to have that conversation to also make sure that they're a good match to you and that you can actually help them and find out what they actually want, so that you can tailor the package. So that's how we do the sales diagnostic and then write a winning proposal. I just want to give you a quick tip. Obviously, I can't go into detail. I teach everything in detail in the Get Corporate Clients Bootcamp, which I'm going to share in a minute as well, as to how you can get access to that at a super, super low investment today. But the expert tip around here is that you use a diagnostic conversation. So that means you're kind of auditing them as to what's going on in their organization right now. And what we used is a corporate conversation framework. So it's a very specific framework that talks about what they're working on as a corporation. And you'll find out exactly what their priorities are, what their budgets are, before you actually create the proposal. So this is really nice. You can actually ask them, how much money they've got available as well. So, and that will actually steer your winning proposal in the right direction, because we can actually utilize some of this information that you've gained by doing the corporate conversation in the correct way. And that's how you secure those contracts. Yeah, that's really what I wanted to share today. Quite sort of quick, giving you an insight as to what's available, my experiences, a couple of case studies, and quick 3 steps as to how you can get started and also think about getting corporate clients. If this is something that you would like to develop and really want to take this on, and you think, I'm not sure if I can do this myself, then please contact me. There is my email address. It's sabine@reachforgreatness.co.uk. Feel free to reach out to me directly. Hit me up on social media, wherever you see this video. Or you can go straight to the sales page, which is on the screen. It's bit.ly/getcorporateclientsbootcamp. And you can secure a special discount today because you were on the webinar. You can purchase it there and then. But if you do have a question, please direct them to me on an email. I'm happy to answer any questions and clarify what's inside the program. Actually, what I could do quite quickly, if I can get this just the screen share properly, I'll open up. I'll open up the sales page for you, and I'm just going to reshare the screen. So I'm just going to explain very quickly as to what's included. Where are we? Get Corporate Clients Bootcamp. There we go. Yeah. So I hope you can probably see that now. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that's where we are at. It is for coaches, consultants, any sort of professionals, experts who think they have something there to share, right? So what you've got here is, obviously, I got a coupon code at the moment going that will give you quite a chunk of money off. This is a lifetime access. It is a program with 9 modules. So it's very detailed. It's got a lot of scripts and templates. Here's just a bit about me. I've already talked about all of this. What services, we talked about it as well. So you got a video course. So, but they're very, very short and to the point. So there's no need to watch hours of content to create your growth foundations. You'll have fill in the blank workbooks with the videos. And you've also got live examples and hacks, as well as scripts and templates that I've created, so that you can actually take that and just go in and get up and running right away. One of the features as well, I just wanted to share with you, is quite an in-depth LinkedIn training. So for those that are looking for LinkedIn support, and how to create webinars as well, how to structure your webinars, that's also included. So bonuses, fast track your LinkedIn. So that's your fast track, how to get your LinkedIn profile up to scratch, basically, what to put where, how to best what the banner should look like, and so on and so on, and then there's another module inside the training that will actually give you 30 days as to like a LinkedIn sprint as well, and gives you detailed kind of step-by-step instructions as to how you find the corporate decision makers, how to connect with them, and what to say to them as well, and how to really start their own organization, a conversation, and how to get them on a call as well. Another bonus I've got here is the coach template vault. So it's really handy to have this, especially when you are delivering into corporate. You want to have a range of different workbooks and coaching tools available that you can actually you can use. So there's a whole vault in there in terms of Canva templates, also marketing templates that you can use, fill in the work, fill in the blank workbooks as well. So they're really, there's like, I've got hundreds in there. That's amazing. That in itself is worth way more already than what you're going to pay for this program. And bonus number 3 is the limitless marketing vault. So basically, those are all your marketing assets that you might want to create for your social media, webinar templates, email templates as well. Gosh, there's so many things in there. Instagram, if you're using Instagram, Facebook, obviously, and launch templates. But you may not need all these templates. They're just there. You just choose what you need. So what's included, you'll gain access to the Get Into Corporate Training Vault. So you'll find a step-by-step training program that will help you create your powerful foundation to target corporate contracts. We have included examples, templates, scripts, workbooks, workflows as well, like trackers as to who did you contact, when, what did they say, to really help you create all the business assets without having to watch hours of training, of video training. You'll have lifetime access. You can implement anytime from anywhere. It's straight to the point, actionable, with everything that you need. So there you have it. There's a couple of more case studies on the page. If you want to go through it, there's a load of case studies. And just to let you know, I do also follow a signature method, which is called the 3C method. So it follows basically, firstly, we're going to gain clarity. So when we get started, right, we want to have clarity. We are going to craft a clear roadmap, a message, a client avatar, and then create a signature program that is perfect for corporate positioning. Then we'll develop engaging and results-driven programs, because as I said to you, you need to think about what you do increase and what you decrease that will captivate your audience. So what we've got here is the Clarity Challenge. That's module 1 to 3. It includes obviously the corporate problems I mentioned, the offer review, messaging, corporate positioning. Then in the connect phase, now we're going to connect with your ideal clients. We're going to connect with them in an aligned way. We craft a plan of action that keeps you on track, because sometimes we reach out to people, we forget, we're not following up. And we all know that in the follow-up, that's where we get the most results. So in this phase, we will go through the Corporate Lead Generation Accelerator. These are modules 4 to 6, includes LinkedIn positioning, lead generation strategies, finding the right clients and decision makers, the daily workflows and habits that we need to put in place to keep on top of things and doing the things that really truly create results in our business. Content creation, opportunity engineering, that's what I'm talking about, is your lunch and learns, your corporate, the executive roundtables, your corporate webinar, that's all included as well. The nurture sequences and the value build up, as well as visibility strategies and the LinkedIn sprints and the sales sprints that I was mentioning. And in the last phase, it's the convert phase. It's to implement effective marketing strategies. We need to learn how to reach your ideal audience, market those corporate programs, and drive conversations, and they lead into sales. So this is the corporate conversion sprint. Module 7 to 9 includes conversion strategies and conversion events, corporate sales conversations, so that's your frameworks, how to create winning proposals, so there's even a proposal template inside the vault, and tools to help you deliver world-class service, which this is why I've also added the all the templates, the vault, the coaching vault, as a bonus as well. So it's quite a lot in here, and the investment is super, super low at this moment. You also have a coupon here that you can use when you go through checkout. So it's only $2.97 at this moment in time. I don't know how long this price will be kept for. It's definitely going to go up. Just reviewing how much I actually put in there. I used to sell this actually for much higher price when I was running it live. And yeah, so there's really lots and lots in there, and I'm super, super excited that I'm now releasing it as a self-study program as well. So that's me done for now. I'm going to leave the link above this video as well, so you can have a look at the program again if you need more clarification, you got any questions, let me know, and I look forward to connecting with you. And yeah, let's see what we can do in corporate and change lives. That's really my mission, to get all these amazing people who have so many gifts. We just need to share our gifts, and that's how we can create that massive ripple effect. And I think the corporates are ready for us now. We'll see you soon, and have a great day. Bye.